Well, hello, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? This is the S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast, episode number 394. Oh, yeah, we're heading in on the big 400 soon. You daggone right. How are you doing? Well, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And thank you for coming back, my friends. Now, do me a favor. Listen to this podcast. If you like it, and you will, tell a friend. Please do. And rate and review this podcast. Please do that as well. Okay? Good. Let's get started. Now that we've gotten that business out of the way. Folks, listen. There's a lot of people in the world that just don't know how to pick up on signals and just don't know how to take new information in and use it properly. And it's very, very annoying, right? And it happens in every aspect of our lives. We know that there's things as traffic signals, pretty blatant, red, stop, yellow, caution, green, go. And we've all gone, you know what? We now agree to that. Those are the signals. We're going to stick to that. And for the most part, we do. Most people don't go till it's green. Most people slow down. A lot of them speed up on yellow, but that's all right. It's annoying, but okay, whatever. Right? But then there's a few of us who will go right through the red. Right through the red. The red is something that tells you, hey, cars going across are going to be going. They're going to step on the gas. They're going to keep going. And people don't pay attention to the signal. And what happens? They get T-boned. And because they didn't want to pay attention to the signals that we've all agreed upon, their car smacked up. And the person in the other car who actually was doing what they were supposed to do, their car gets smacked up. Why? Because somebody didn't pay attention to the signals. And it's a frustrating thing, right? Now, the reason I talk about signals is because I was hanging out with friends of mine who are a new couple. A new couple. And new couples are like rookies in a football game, right? They think they know everything. We've been together for 2 years. Nothing's going to change now that we're married. Yes, it is. There's consequences now. You're part of the same unit and you're responsible for the other person. The other person is responsible for you. You are held accountable for what she does. She's held accountable for what you do. That's just the way it is. Sorry. So now you're sitting at the table, right? And this guy was sitting there trying to act like stud man stud, right? He was very coy, guys, going, how's it going with your new girlfriend? And he went, you know how it is, you know how I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I think that's my woman, so I'm not going to get into any specifics, but all I'm saying is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I know all the guys at the table being pigs. Yeah. we get it. You know, right? Right? And they didn't get to see his lady friend that often. Weird hours, right? Every once in a while, she'd come and get him and take him someplace, or they'd run across each other on the way someplace. Never really get to have a long conversation. Didn't happen that much. Okay, not a big deal. But one day, as they're about to go and get married, as the marriage gets near, she decides to make a concerted effort to come and start to hang out with his friends more. They're sitting at the table next to each other. Everybody's laughing and joking, right? And then she starts to tell more about herself. And she's a sweet, charming lady, obviously a beautiful lady, and everybody's charmed and enchanted with this beautiful lady that's getting it on. I mean, dating their friend, right? And then she says it. And I'm really glad Chuck was considerate enough to realize that, I really had decided that, I know I'm a little older than people would think regarding this specific situation, but even though I'm 30, I decided I was going to wait till marriage. And the simple fact that he was able to wait these 2 years, I mean, you guys have a great friend and he's a really great guy. And everyone's looking at her. And at first they think she's kidding, but she's not kidding. And you can see his face like, oh, geez, right? Because the whole time he didn't say anything specific about the way they got it on, but he implied that they were. Yeah, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? But there was no, at the most it was, right? There's no, like I said, at the most, all he got was, that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's only something wrong with that if you led someone to believe that you were when all you were was okay, no problem. Right? If he actually had come out and said, listen, she's a da 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 da, and look, man, she's a special girl. I mean, I'm going to have a lifetime with her. It's really not that big of a deal, but we're not going to do anything till we get married. I know, before I met her, I was doing my thing and out in the streets and jumping on top of a lot of different women, and as people would call me a player and all that kind of stuff. But I've reformed. This is the woman I'm going to spend the next 60 years of my life with, and if she needs to chill until we get married, I'm cool with it. She's that special. I think that much of her. You know what I'm saying? We got our whole lifetime to jump on top of each other, so I'm cool. Everybody they would have laughed at him anyway. They got a loser, but they would have respected it, and he would have got tortured for maybe a half an hour, right? Then maybe the bartender would put a drink on his table. He'd try to drink it. We'd grab it from him. Nah, man, you can't drink this till tomorrow. That kind of thing. That kind of thing. But it would have been over with, not a big deal. But he spent the whole time lying his brains off. And the funny thing about it was, as she started to move towards that topic and broach that topic, you could see the look on his face, and he was trying to give it a head nod and a couple of eye signals. He put his hands under the table. You could see, I was looking at him, like you could see he was kind of hitting her leg under the table, trying to give her the old, shut up, honey, please, God, shut up. And she thought he was just being cutesy, and she looked over at him and gave him a little smile and a nod, and then the words came out of her mouth, we haven't done anything. He was so nice to wait the 2 years because we didn't do anything for 2 years, and they get the word, and it was like you could see the words coming out of her mouth. When you're watching a movie and somebody said something, and there's an animation of the words coming out of the person's mouth, working their way across the table, and you can see the words right in the middle of the table. And at that moment, the sound has not hit the ears of the other people yet, so they haven't actually heard it, because we're now watching an animation in slow motion. And at this moment, he's not humiliated yet. He's not crushed yet. His friends don't have ammunition to torture his punk ass yet, but you can see it, and you see the animated words go into his friends' ears and into the brain. And then the language is in their brain, and now they know what the situation is. And then all of a sudden you cut back to the guy with the look of horror on his face, because he knows his friends are going to get him good. And then you could all see them kind of put that look on their face as if to go, loser, right? And they got the little smile in their eyes, and they're nodding, and they got the little smirks on their face, and they're looking at each other, right? And they're looking at him like, oh, we gonna get you, punk. Oh, it's on now. You were probably only going to get tortured for about a half an hour if you told us the truth, but now that you lied for a couple of years, it's going to be at least 10 years of us torturing you about this, you dumb bastard. You shouldn't have lied. You definitely shouldn't have lied to us, because we live to torture each other, and now we're all going to take all this torture and aim it at your punk ass, you punk ass. Back to real time. And he's just a great guy. And they're like, yeah, Chuck's a real great guy. You got yourself a real winner there with Chuck. But anyway, I'm going to go to the bathroom, the ladies' room. I'll be back in a few minutes. Oh, there's a line there. I might be in there a while. Could you guys order some flop-de-flop for me, and a couple of floop-de-floops, and a glass of flip-flop-de-flop? Not a problem. We'll do it for you. And she walks to the bathroom, and Chuck turns to watch her walk to the bathroom. Under normal circumstances, you would think Chuck was watching her walk to the bathroom to look at her butt, but he's not doing that. He's looking at her because he's hoping that something comes along to distract his friends, right? He was trying to send her signals the whole time she was talking, but she wasn't listening at all. She just kept going. And then he turns around and sees his friends, and they're looking at him like, you're a dead man, right? Now, the thing is, it would be actually better if they actually tortured him, but they don't. They don't bring up anything. They just keep looking at him and going on with a regular conversation. But they maintain the incredibly smug, we're going to get you for this look in their faces. And he's sitting there the whole time like, oh God, the longer they wait to torture me about this situation, the worse it's going to get. You're damn right. He was trying to send her signals because she was just innocently telling the truth. She's a sweetheart. innocently telling the truth about the situation. She wasn't trying to humiliate him. There was nothing to be humiliated about. And these are just friends that are going to, crush him on a regular basis for the next couple of years over this. It's not really a big deal. It's not like it's going to end his life, but she just gave ammunition to his friends who are master crap talkers, master destroyers with language, right? I felt so bad under normal circumstances. I would have decapitated him with jokes, but I'm looking at him and it's like, oh, this is like watching a puppy trying to run across the freeway. I'm not going to join in on the torture. I'm just going to podcast about it. Moving on. Right? Because the thing is, you need to be able to pick up on signals. She was part of a new couple. They were together for a couple of years. They're just getting married, which means they just moved to the next level of relationship. They haven't even worked on the signals yet. And every couple that's been together 5-10 years or more, you know your spouse well enough to know when there's signals. Your wife can give you a quick look and you realize, I better not go any further with that. The husband can give the wife a quick look. She's going, I better not go any further with that because I don't know why, but there's a reason he or she doesn't want me to go there, so I'm going to chill. And I'll ask him or her in the car what the hell was going on. And in the car, they telling you going, oh, I'm glad you stopped me. We know that. I've been in long time couples. I know what it's like to shoot my girlfriend a look and she goes, oh, anyway, and moves the subject, and the same thing to me. And then I explained into the car, if you would have said that, those two girls would have fought at the table because they don't know they're dating the same guy. He's going to have to be the one to tell them. And you don't, oh my God, I'm so glad you said that because they would have just embarrassed me. Bam. I wish that couples could have their minds locked together, like with that Elon Musk, AI, where you can actually put chips in the brain and you can send signals back and forth. I would love couples to be able to do that. Isn't it great when you do like a Zoom call or some kind of video call where you can literally type a special message to somebody there because they're about to say something stupid and you have to type in, don't go there, you dumb bastard, you're going to mess up everything. Yeah, well, never mind about that topic. Let's talk about something else because S. Anthony definitely didn't type a secret message to me that was going to keep me from saying something stupid that was going to get my ass whipped later. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. I'm leaving the call. Right? People don't know how to pick up on signals. And I can't be all phony and tell the story about my punk ass friend with his new wife acting like he was getting it on with his hot wife when he wasn't getting nothing until they got married. By the way, that was years ago. And yes, they're still torturing him about that, by the way. And that's been about 15 years, just to give you a heads up. But I've been on the other end of that as well, man. I know what it's like to be tortured by my friends. And keep in mind, my friends that I hang out with are writers and performers and comedians. So if you want to get tortured verbally by people to the point where you almost want to just get out from the table, run away crying, none of us would because we're all battle tested. But a civilian might. You don't want to get embarrassed in front of these punks because they never let anything down. I started doing comedy when I was 17 years old, and there's stuff that I still get teased about now. And I'm 50 freaking 1. You dig? Anyway, I'm with someone. We're in a hotel room. We have our own suites. Our own suites. All the doors can be locked, right? And sometimes, if people respect your privacy, it's normal to just forget about it. It's normal to just forget about it, right? Your friends are not going to do anything. It's not like they're going to steal anything. So sometimes you forget to lock your suite in the hotel when you're all on the same show. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Right? So we meet some nice ladies, right? They met nice ladies, and I brought a girlfriend with me. I had a girlfriend at the time, and we had been together for a while, so we were comfortable with each other, right? They were out trying to pick up women, and I brought my lovely lady with me, right? And as I said, I forgot to lock the door to my suite. And I didn't tell them I was bringing my girlfriend. What difference does it make to them? I'm a grown-ass man. I don't have to tell my friends whether I'm bringing my girlfriend with me or what she's coming in. And this time she came in, right? They don't know that, right? So they're out there. They're trying to meet some women, right? And I don't have to meet women. I brought me a woman. Ha-ha, right? And I got my long-term girlfriend there. She's telling me what she gonna do when she gets there. I'm telling her what I'm gonna do when she gets there, right? I go out to buy some stuff that we needed to do some stuff, if you understand what I'm saying. Right? So we're in the room, me and my lady. Oh yeah, boom, boom, jiggity, boom, the boom, jiggy, jiggy, right? Well, we didn't boom, boom, jiggity, boom, the boom, jiggy, jiggy. Yeah, we're about to boom, boom, jiggity, boom, the boom, jiggy, jiggy, right? And I had my music right. I had my music right. I had you know how I put together a bunch of songs, and every one of the songs is a boom, boom, jiggity, boom, the boom, jiggy, jiggy, mood music for boom, boom, jiggity, boom, the boom, jiggy, jiggy, right? And I hadn't seen my girl in a couple of weeks because I was busy and she was busy. We couldn't even be in the same place because of how busy we were. And that means that 2 weeks of not being able to see my lady, 2 weeks of not being able to see my lady. And she wasn't the kind of lady that cheats, and I'm not the kind of man that cheats, which means neither one of us had done any similar stuff, a boom, boom, jiggity, boom, the boom for a while. And I didn't want to boom, boom, jiggy, jiggy myself, and she didn't boom, boom, jiggy, jiggy herself. Well, that's what she said. I definitely didn't boom, boom, jiggy, jiggy myself, because I was like, I don't want to boom, boom, jiggy, jiggy myself. I want to boom, boom, jiggy, jiggy her, right? So it's 2 weeks, and then she finally shows up, and I'm telling you right now, she was wearing one of them things that makes me think that she was wearing that thing for me, and I'm glad she wore that thing for me, even though she was wearing that thing for me, and she wasn't going to be wearing it for long. You're damn right. So I got my music, right? And on my music, I got a whole bunch of Prince songs. And you know what I'm talking about. When you put on the Prince music and you with your lady, you know what that means. That means that you better hang up the daggone phone. You're daggone right, because it's about to. And I had some music. I had like 4 hours of music. It was a whole bunch of Prince stuff and D'Angelo stuff and Maxwell type stuff. You know, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely Prince stuff and some other, and the music was, and I put the right, and everybody knows me well enough to know that when I listen to my Prince music, I listen to my Prince music in headphones. They never hear the Prince music. I want to hear the Prince music, and I don't want to hear nothing else but the Prince music. So if you hear Prince music and it ain't in headphones, that's a signal. Oh yeah. But these dopes didn't know I brought my girl. I had my girl come, so they just heard the music, right? And they assumed there was no girl in it. They just think maybe I'm in there watching TV. Maybe I'm rehearsing. Maybe I'm eating in my section of the thing. So they just kind of walk in. Hey, man. Oh. And it was one of those times where I'm going, I really wish that I had locked the door. I mean, you heard the Prince music? Is that not a signal, right? You guys know me well enough to know I use Prince music when I'm about to boom, boom, jiggy, jiggy, boom, boom, jiggy, jiggy, right? And they walk into the room, right? And you know how bad my friends are when it comes to torturing people. They walk into the room and I'm wearing a Batman outfit from the waist up. And she's wearing a Joker outfit from the waist up. Don't judge me, F y'all, right? I was about to give her the Justice League of America action. And they looking at us, and I said, first of all, could y'all like leave? Because she covered herself up and I covered myself up real quick, but it doesn't matter. They could tell that both of us did not have nothing on from the waist down, and I'm sitting there sweating in my Batman cowl, and she's like, oh my God, she put her hand to the face and smeared her Joker makeup, and they're looking at us like, okay, right? And I'm thinking that they're going to be horrified and walk out, but they're too busy laughing. And I said, get out. And they go, ha, ha, ha. And they walk out and they close the door. Maybe you should lock the door, N-word. And they walk out and we're sitting there, right? And under normal circumstances, if my girlfriend was this embarrassed, she would be mortified and nothing happened. But I hadn't given her the good deep business in a couple of weeks. She's like, normally I'd be embarrassed, but I really need some good deep business. And then I gave her the good deep business. She took me to Milktown about, a bunch of times in a row, because it's been 2 weeks. You know what I'm talking about, right? And most people, when something that embarrassing happens, would let you off the hook and just shut the hell up. And they would go, I'm sorry, man. Oh no, I told you about my friends, right? Now they were really nice to my girlfriend, and be honest with you, they didn't really see anything but like the side of her right leg, but they saw, they saw that I was ready, like extremely ready For whoop, you get the point, right? Right. They had the same smirk on their face that they had with the other guy. You know, I knew I was going to get it at some point, right? But they don't say anything. I know it's coming. Because they got him the next day. They destroyed that man the next day and until today, right? I only got it for a couple of days because they know it doesn't really bother me that much because I'm not fragile like that, right? So they're waiting and nobody says anything for a couple of days, right? And I'm waiting. I know it's coming. And show up at the bar after another gig like a couple of weeks later. And I'm sitting there looking at them and they're trying not to smirk, but I know it's coming. Right. And one of my friends is an idiot. Went out to one of those little cheap novelty stores and got a flashlight with a bat signal on it. And when I stood up to go to the bathroom, they took the bat signal and aimed it at my groin and flashed a flashlight on my groin. So there was a bat signal on my groin. For like 3 weeks, I was called bat junk. And I was like, so y'all really gonna call me bat junk? Yeah, we're going to call you bat junk. They called me bat junk for like 3 weeks. And the good thing about it would have been if they just called me bat junk and humiliated me amongst the group, but they said it loud enough. And people go, why y'all call him bat junk? I'm like, hey. They're like, yeah, you right. And I go to the bathroom and then I could hear them. We walked in on him and his girl, man. He had a Batman outfit on from the waist up. And his girl was dressed like the Joker. They were doing it dressed in outfits, right? We saw his junk all sticking out there, all that. Looked like he had a baseball bat in front of him. So we called him Bat Junk. I'm kind of weirdo, man. I knew he was a weirdo, man, but he literally had a Batman outfit on from the waist up. And I walk back and people are looking at me like, hey, Bat Junk, you want another beer? And I'm going, oh, great. You just, I just want to say for the record that obviously, this podcast was completely scripted. None of these, all the stuff that I said so far was true up until the part about me, in the Batman outfit from the waist up and the girl I was seeing at the time, dressed like a female Joker and getting it on dressed like that, being into that kind of weird stuff. I mean, everything from that part on is just a very, very funny story that I made up for your benefit so y'all could enjoy it, that stuff. Now, don't judge me. Okay, folks, this has been episode number 394 of the S. Anthony Says podcast. Much love to you all. Thank you for listening. And once again, like I said, if you like this podcast, and you do, make sure you tell a friend, and you will. And make sure you rate and review, and you will. And make sure you share on social media. I would appreciate it. You've done a lot for me, and I know you're going to do more because you always do. Much love to you all, and I will see you again next time. You bastards.